Yeah. All
So
right.
now
Here we
beyond,
go.
and we'll have more time to talk other times. We'll be communicating a lot, I'm sure.
Indeed.
And it'll be a lot of fun. It's
I
got to
think
be fun.
so.
It's got to be fun.
I agree.
All right. So we'll meet. One day we'll meet. That's no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're already meeting.
We have indeed.
So when you close your eyes, what you're doing is shutting off the outer frequencies and all that negative stuff in the atmosphere that's got every deadly thing that ever happened by people to people and animals on the planet still recorded in the atmosphere. You want to shut that off first. When you close your eyes and notice, you're really shutting off that part of the brain. And it's preparing you to go into the sleep state or trance state we call sleep. Now, you're a master at this. You know how to do this like everybody else every night. When you put that body to sleep, it's a piece of cake. But what's really going on is you're triggering the pineal gland to secrete serotonin that makes melatonin. And what it's doing, and you have an energy connection to that brain, it's making the body run on automatic, heartbeat, lungs work, blood circulate while you're gone every night. But if you're not trained from childhood without implants to understand how to use the higher faculties of the Atma, turn them back on, you're not going to bring back much in the next morning. It's not because you can't, it's because the faculties required are not on. They're just dormant. Experience is everything. Always has been, always will be. Faith and belief are a great place to start, but a terrible place to end up. Because they're supposed to lead and cross paths with the you that leads to direct experience. That makes you the knower, not the believer. It's got nothing to do with the egos of bodies and brains and power and all that stuff, because we're not the one power. It is the one power, and we're part of it. That respect must be there to move forward. Shantiel and tonal teal are men and women about 6 feet tall with long hair, their shoulders, big, beautiful blue eyes. One's green. They have a Galactic Alliance uniform on. It's a single form-fitting piece that fits around them, even the footwear. And it's got a Galactic Alliance symbol on the breast area on the right chest. It looks like a silver galaxy with a four-sided, golden-sided pyramid with a quartz crown hovering above the apex of the galaxy. And then above that, above the apex of the pyramid, are three blue stars in triangular formation above it. These two are master teachers, but they're also experts in removing implants, and they get a great joy out of it. It's fun for them, Virgil. It liberates them. It liberates you. And stuck energy of you is released in this process permanently. When we plug into the you up in space, you're plugging into the pure hue from the source directly. Trillian brings that down here. I do. Satnam does. He's part of this, right in our stupid physical universe. He doesn't have to come here to play with us yahoos. Why is he doing it? Ask yourself why he's appearing here like this. You'll see him. Things are changing. I'm like a person riding on the crest of a surfboard on a super galactic tidal wave. I have to balance on the end of that board perfectly still and ride it along with everyone else because it's sweeping through creation now and it cannot be reversed. So they're standing beside you right by your chair to keep your secondary and primary implants off. That means the one in the electromagnetic field around your body and the one around you hovering near the ceiling. It's around that too. They're connected. Then you look to your left and right and realize you're looking at these beautiful spherical atmas, and they're manifesting a form that looks human, about 36. Beautiful, handsome, trim, perfect, handsome, beautiful. Nicely dressed. Galactic Alliance uniforms. They're showing you a perfect form made of energy. It is not a physical body. It's not DNA. It's not matter. It's not molecules. It is an extension or projection of themselves from the white core of their being. And you realize suddenly that you're a man about 36 and you have a full head of hair and you're showing them a perfect you. about 36, flawless, trim, perfect, handsome. And it's an awakening process. You've always known how to do this. When secondary and primary implants are turned off for you, you can just do it again. And then you're at 10,000 feet in the upper atmosphere, looking down through the roof where you are in Florida, and you're hovering near the ceiling. But you're also at 10,000 feet. The Atma is multi-dimensional capabilities. Like it can run a physical body, astral, causal, mental, and etheric. Because it does, even if you've been made to consciously forget this, it's still running them. And we're still responsible for them as an individual Atma. And then Chantal and Tonaltiel are standing beside you up there. All three of you Atmas hovering beside each other. The next thing you know, you're in outer space. You're in outer space in what you would think was a black void out there you see in Hubble Space Telescope and satellite images and all that. But out here, to you, it appears like a white golden light everywhere. The Earth and the Moon and the Sun and the stars in our galaxy are floating in it. There's an electromagnetic field surrounding the Earth so it can turn and create a gravitational field for the life on the planet. But it's also a function of being able to float in this U, balanced with other objects throughout the multiverse, connected through doorways like the shaft that runs through the middle of the galaxy. It's not a black hole, it's a white golden hole that goes upward and downward to a few parallel dimensions below here. But it's something that beings write on. I can go up the shaft of that galaxy and go to the source, or I can go right to the source from out in space. Either way, the Atma is not limited. There are certain kinds of ships that can go into that core in the Milky Way and write it, but not many races can do that. Out here in space, you're looking at planet Earth with the polar ice caps, blue oceans and landmass, the barren meteor cratered moon orbiting the planet, and you can see it doesn't turn on its axis. That's wrong in every way there is. The gravity of Earth pulling on it, the sun, the other planets would have it turn, but something has kept it perfectly still and stopped. That's not natural and it's not right, and it has to be repaired for Earth to ever assume its place out in the universe. That process has been planned and is underway. One of the first things that had to happen, silent mentors had to stop the polar flips of the planet permanently. This brought to an end Golden Age to Iron Age and back again for this planet, which is all that was for. Terrellian's standing in the middle of a circle of beings. He's showing you an 18-foot tall body, trim, beautiful, handsome, like a Greek god. But it's the Atma hovering above it that is the real Terrellian. He's showing a projection of a body he had 1 billion years ago. He can take the DNA that's stored in one of the teardrops in the yellow layer around his white core and draw the U power from around him and manifest a form. You could go up and touch it if he walked on Earth. But the people of Earth are not ready for such a thing. So he would never walk there. Not yet. Then people on Earth would be so freaked out with implants, they have twin-stranded DNA actually comes from the Say race, who developed these forms billions of years ago. So here's this guy standing there with his 2 thumbs up and a golden light around him. And then you look up and you can see there's another guy up there. Sat Nam is standing there, and above him is a golden vortex like an hourglass with a blue-green light whirling around it clockwise. On the other side, you can see a pale blue void of light. That's the void. So he's standing there. The hue expansion ray is flowing through him, down through Terrellian, out his thumbs, and he's creating a field of energy that's a brighter form of the hue than the one we're in, like an oval around us. Master Ramu is towards the earth in that position, usually always takes the same position. Master Opelum's out towards space, further around from me to my right. Chantal and Tonaltial are standing beside the form you're showing them. It looks to be about 36. Etta and Din are hovering above the sphere that is Ambassador Turellian. They're master teachers, 3 feet long, silica-based, drenched from the planet Oceania, where Opelum comes from. I have been friends with these dear, cute, wonderful beings for over 100,000 years. They are master teachers now. I couldn't love them more if I tried, or respect them more. But they aren't human. Good for them. They can fly through the air and defy gravity. In the body forms they have telepathic capability, vocal cords, and photographic memories, just like you. They are the Atmas hovering above the bodies. They're showing you a pure energy form of the body they have back on Oceania right now. We will go there. One of these days, we will go there. Well, Pelham would welcome you to Oceania if you want to go there. Probably you were there once long ago. Yeah, you were. There are other master teachers here. Some of you may know, some you do not. And they're from other worlds and other dimensions that go with us when we go up into the higher worlds to take their turn in instructing in the Hue Expansion Ray Academy. Chantal and Tonaltial are pointing behind you out in space. Between the Earth and the Moon, and you can see all the billions of stars out there superimposed, floating, creating gravitational fields in this hue. That space out there is the hue itself that those float in. People don't know this. They've got no idea. If you can visualize, which means the ability to see into the universe and see things, creative imagination doesn't mean it's made up in your brain on Earth, because it doesn't create. Creative imagination is the ability to imagine where you want to go and what you want to do, particularly when you want to create something new. And the hue manifests it. There's a procedure to go through for the hue to manifest something new. Satnam is that doorway, by the way, in case you're wondering. And you look behind you out in space and you see a ship hovering there. It's one of those 30-foot disc ships like the one on the Sayers Agenda cover. Carefully constructed on that cover for a reason. 3 semi-spheric pods in the bottom. It is a blue-gray composite, metal composite hull, but you can see right through it because you're an Atma and you're not made of matter, and you can see through matter. There are 4 couples in that ship. 3 couples are standing behind a semicircular curved control console with faceted luminous crystal controls. This is Oceanian science from Opelum's people that were brought to the Galactic Alliance more than 500,000 years ago. So the Oceanians are the most advanced crystalline-based scientists. The other ones are called the Xian-Turnamus race. They're on the other side of the galaxy. And they're responsible for a little over half the galaxy. The Galactic Interdimensional Alliance of Free Worlds is responsible for a little less than half. They work together now. We can go to Xian-Turnamus 1 sometime if you like. These are tall, stately people, 10 feet tall, with longer necks and longer torsos and hands and fingers. When they walk like swans. They have ivory-colored skin, silver hair down to their shoulders. It looks like silver metal, but it's soft. Violet-colored eyes. They're extremely advanced. So the Galactic Alliance and their organization of worlds work together now because of the Hue Expansion Ray. That gap has already been bridged. It cannot be reversed. And then in the back of this spaceship, the Scout class vehicle, are 2 people sitting in a lounge with their heads to their chest, apparently asleep. And then you realize, oh my God, That's Chantil and Tonalty standing beside me. So yeah, they have the technology. They understand the genomes on DNA and how to turn switches on and off, because each one's a switch activated by a precise sound frequency. If you know the science and turn on the telomere on the each end of the human DNA that shrinks when cells divide, it won't shrink. People wouldn't age. That'd be a disaster for Earth the way they are right now. There's already 8 billion people here. That is a problem that will be fixed in a way by transporting some of these people to other worlds and being prepared when this place is changed. So it becomes normal again. So now they're pointing up, and you have this body, this pure human male type of body. It's not genetic or made of atomic or nuclear energy. It's made of the hue. And it's projection from the white core of what you really are. So other people can identify you, so other people can share with you. And so you can objectively see what's about to happen to you, the Atma. In the electromagnetic field that surrounds that Atma, very large, on the outside, way around the golden layer, is a triangular pattern of secondary implants. They look like foot-wide oval white lights connected together, are in the electromagnetic field around the Atma, but not through it, because they cannot be put in the Atma. Primary implants are like a pyramid on the top of the North Pole of this electromagnetic field, pointing downward in the South Pole. Gold inside it with a quartz cap. They're beautiful. Why would you want to get rid of them if you found them? It's diabolical. Not in the Atma, through which you look to know things again in the universe that's blocked. Those are turned off right now by Chantil and Tonaltil. It's easy for them, effortless, no effort at all. And then this triangular pattern of these lights are connected on a level playing field right through the equator of the Atma, but not in the Atma. So they're in 3 places. One is in the front near us, 2 to each side, slightly past the midsection of this electromagnetic field, about 2/3 of the way out in it. So Chantil and Tonaltil are escorting you, and I'm right there with you, are escorting you up to look at this white thing. Chantil is reaching in with his hand, easily lifting it out. The electromagnetic field sorts itself out. He's placing it in front of your face. Tonaltil, his wife, his mate, is touching it to activate it. And then you get to see what's in it. You are aboard the bridge area of a Galactic Alliance spacecraft. This is more than 500,000 years ago. You are not a native to Earth. You didn't even know about it. And you are a commander of this ship, and there are a dozen in parallel row heading somewhere. There are personnel around that control room, crystalline-based touch technology, far more advanced than anything on Earth. And you're looking at this blue star field. It's just thousands of these big, young, blue, hot, white, giant stars. And for some reason, this particular mission is to observe and document them and explore the worlds that surround them all. They've been explored previously, but this is more of a mission to, I guess, request them to be part of the Galactic Alliance. They're spacefaring races. And so this is a great life for you. You look to be about maybe 38, 40 tops. You're several thousand years old at this point in that body. It's not like Earth. It's a 4-stranded DNA human body form. So this is an experience, if you had remembered it or woke it up and looked at it, you would not want to get rid of it, would you? No. But it's the terror, torture, and death of artificially created holographic programming that's put behind this thing they stole from you. The experience is still real, stored in the Atma. You won't lose it. But the terror is going away tonight. Chantiel simply points his finger at this thing, and it begins to spin clockwise. And his wife, Tonatiel, sends a hue at it and disintegrates it. It becomes part of the white golden light around us. And then they start chuckling and laughing because the release of that energy is so uplifting to them. It's a pleasure for them to do this, to liberate this stuff from fellow beings. They enjoy it. These beings do not have with or work with money on their worlds at all. It's illegal. No, Earth is not like that. And we have to work with it, it's understood. But it won't always be like that. Now they're moving you around to the one on the left side of the electromagnetic field, out in that field, about 2/3 the way out in it. Tonatiel is moving up into it with her beautiful feminine fingers, an example of the body she has on that spaceship that's asleep. And she's lifting it out. It has a sound coming from it, like the high, beautiful note of a flute, and like a full string harp sound. That's interesting. And Chantiel touches it and you begin able to see into it. And now you are on a mountainside at the base of a snow-covered mountain. And there's a vast orchard of fruit trees with blue and green and striped, rainbow-colored fruit like pears and apples, but they're not from Earth. The leaves on the trees in this orchard with this beautiful lavender grass under it has glowing leaves. They're phosphorescent, is not effervescent, self-effulgent, luminous property. It's getting to be dusk, and in the distance you can just see 3 suns setting beyond the mountain range in the distance. This planet's turning on its axis, very large, much larger than Earth. This is what's called a trinary sun system. It is not near Earth. Scientists on Earth today know most of the suns that make up the stars in the Milky Way are binary 2 or trinary, not like Earth with 1 sun. Planets that revolve around such systems have a different effect on genetics and human and all that, thus 4-stranded, thus living thousands of years, thus having science developed, and so forth. So most of the advanced spacefaring races just in our galaxy are far more advanced than people on Earth. This is a fact. And no one's going to be going into space from Earth denying that or ignoring it. It cannot be ignored. So you're looking at these fruit trees. You're sitting behind a table made of a polished, luminous wood. It's round. And you can see a hologram projection under the surface of the polish of this wood. And you're looking at a home in another part of the planet. 3 geodesic domes connected by a triangle or clear archway at the base of trees that are much taller than those on Earth. And you're out in a garden in the triangle area inside it, picking vegetables with a wife and a couple of kids. And so you're looking at something that's a fond memory for you that's portrayed in this device, this table. You can actually interact with those beings through this device. It's like a telepathic, teleportal kind of thing. This is common for people on that world. Beautiful experience. Why would you want to get rid of it? See the problem? Behind it are programs of terror, torture, and death and intimidation, like we'll eat you or kill you again, rip your arms off, if you try to remember who you are. So, number one, this was a subconscious memory you couldn't access, but so beautiful you'd never get rid of it if you did. We don't want it there. So Chantiel and Tonatiel are simply going to start. Well, let's see what they do. They're going to throw it back and forth like a ball until it disintegrates between them. They come up with all kinds of new ways to play with this. And then it is gone. It's dissolved back into the pure hue where it should be. The hole in the electromagnetic field sealed itself. Then we got to go up to the one that's up to, let's see. I think we have to go to the one right in front. We went to the right and left, right? Do you remember? Left and right. So this is the one in front. Now this is different because as you approach it, it doesn't really matter. From any angle, it's triangle around you anyway. But anyway, you're going to this third one, and they're placing their hands under your hands and having you reach in and lift this out yourself. And then they're touching it from each side to turn it on so you can see what's in it. The connection between the three is already gone. These are secondary implants containing terror and torture that isn't even your experience. We don't care what's in them. We just want them dissolved back into the hue. And as you look into it, you realize you are swimming in a blue-green luminous ocean. There's an emerald-colored sandy beach behind you. And the ocean water on these more normal worlds is charged with the hue. It glows a foot above the ocean. It keeps the oceans calm and beautiful. Earth's oceans are depleted in this way. Except around the equator where there's a little more of the hue charged so people feel good when they get in it, but it's not like it should be. So this was common and normal for you. You're about maybe 16 years of age, which would make you on that planet about 200, maybe. And you're just laying in this water. You're able to float in it with your hands behind your head, and you're looking up at the stars that are starting to come out. The suns have already set, so you're looking at these stars, and what you notice is stars are much closer to you here. Big blue ones, luminous and beautiful. Nebula that's as close as your breath. You can see another galaxy from here. It is not like the view from Earth. There's 7 moons out there. There's red stars and yellow suns. It's like a tropical paradise around where you are. Beautiful scene, beautiful lifetime, peaceful, highly evolved. Your experience, still yours. But you don't want it as an implant in your field of energy, because you'd never get rid of it on your own. So, you're holding this thing and looking at it, you realize it's your life. That planet is called Sayar. Sayar. S-I-A-R in English. Sayar. You're a human, but not exactly. You got slightly pointed ears, emerald green eyes, and slightly green skin. No big deal. And so, Shantiel and Tonatiel ask you to send the hue into it, which you do. And they release their hands from under yours, and this thing dissolves and vanishes into the hue. Now this means that these are gone permanently. The primary implant's turned off, and you're going to find you have volitional control now. This primary implant has your real torture, death, and execution, and all that crap, and being stuffed in a body on Earth. So you must be prepared first to sit in a white chair. There are a number of locations, and have experts and master teachers around you to look at screens, a projection of what that was. And it's terrifying, but you're safe. And once you go through it, it becomes nothing but a memory. And no more implants for you. In the meantime, you're going to find, after this journey, that when fear of the present or future comes up in you, for business or anything, all you have to do is send out the hue and turn it off. Or turn your attention away. Don't be habit-ridden. and focus on a waterfall or a beautiful woman or a waterfall or a hummingbird, and it will turn off. The implant is designed with secondary implants to compulsively compel you to look into it, so it will run over your nervous system. Those three are gone. They cannot be put back. They were not taken out by people on Earth, and not by me. Those are Galactic Alliance personnel. Master teachers work with that whole organization. It's part of their requirement when they travel into space. Different than people think. Really different. And that's just the physical universe, and just one of 144 parallel dimensions of it. There are 144 Earths. I know of one, which I'm going to show you right now, and generally is done for our journeys, our group journeys. So now, Trillian's pointing to the Earth, and you see the planet Earth with its polar ice caps and barren moon and sun, and it changes like a heat wave in a desert. And you're looking at the same planet Earth now in the third higher parallel dimension. It has a big continent over the surface from the left to the right hemisphere. It goes up about a third of the way below the North Pole. It comes up about a third of the way above the South Pole. There's another continent centered over the equator on the opposite side of the planet. You can see right through it. You're an Atma. The moon has got an atmosphere and oceans and domed cities and pyramids, and it's turning on its axis as it revolves around the planet. See, that continent's called Lemriel, or Mu. The one on the other side is Atlantis. But this is not the Lemurian Atlantis that was destroyed when the poles flipped on the Earth you're familiar with 100,000 years ago. This one never had that problem. So all you have to do is look and understand. This is manned by Galactic Alliance personnel, the Sayrays. Some silent mentors visit, master teachers visit it. There's a dome city at the base of a snow-capped mountain down near in the middle of the equator, down near the South Pole. There's an upward curved Half Moon Bay beach glowing green, very attractive to you. You find yourself suddenly looking down at your bare feet, wiggling in emerald green sand. And you look inland over this tropical jungle. There's a path of brown moss, goes straight back. There's a single snow-capped mountain inland that has a waterfall coming out of a cavern 2/3 of the way towards the summit, dropping straight down a cliff face. It's disappearing in the blue-green forest trees that surround a dome city. The back of the dome city are 3 golden-sided, 4-sided, quartz-capped pyramids. A small mountain range, semicircular, in the back of this huge place, put there for the aesthetic beauty of its inhabitants. Little waterfalls coming down. It goes into an oval blue-green lake, luminous a foot above the water, mind you. And little ivory-colored dome dwellings with little white marble stone paths between them. Suddenly you find yourself on one of the paths, walking towards the lake, and Opelum is standing in front of you, because he's one of the people that mans this facility. It is on Earth, but it's in the third higher parallel dimension. The universe is big, vast. Beings from other worlds who know this stuff circumnavigate these places between 144 levels. They do not go into the astral plane. So the Galactic Interdimensional Alliance of Free Worlds comprises worlds in all 144. How interesting to know this. You look down and you're wiggling your toes in this glowing green sand. You pick it up, and it's these little round polished emeralds glowing. They go into your hand, which is human, about 36. They go up through your smiling face, into the white core of your being, out to the green layer, which is about memory of your lives in the physical universes below the void, and it begins to light up some of those teardrops. Trillian's standing offshore up to his knees in the water, just smiling. He's still got his 2 thumbs up with the gold light around him. And then you're back in space, looking at the polar ice caps and the moon as you're familiar to see them. And then you're hovering above your body back on Earth, and John Teal and Tony Teal are both still there. Obviously I am as well. There's a white golden light coming down from this experience through Satnam from higher realms, through Terillian, through the electromagnetic field that surrounds the Atma, through the electromagnetic field that surrounds the body, through the pineal gland. And this memory of this journey is being stored out in the electromagnetic field in the physical, around the physical body. And it keeps moving past you. It always moves, this you. It goes through you for your benefit and on its way to other beings for their benefit. It goes through a pyramid stationed between two stable asteroids in the asteroid field that circles in the orbit of what was a planet between Mars and Jupiter. And it goes out to Bigger Pin, a pyramid stationed between individual stars. And then it goes into the center of the axis of the galaxy and up the white golden core back to source. And it never stops moving. See, as of now, you are a co-creator with source energy. This is one way. It cannot be reversed. When you're ready, open your eyes. That's a secondary implant removal journey, personally.
Well, thank you, Scott.
You won't forget it. And the thing of it is, you're very welcome. In a couple of days, you have a cup of tea or something, you're not doing anything, keep your phones off, shut off the computer, play it back because I'm going to send it to you. And you're going to realize a lot more took place than you remember right now because it's this way for everyone. You may remember a lot more than most people, I think, but you're going to discover that your IQ has gone up because those three fear mechanisms are gone forever. And you're going to discover that you have the ability to comprehend this stuff as if, God, it's like I've always known it. Your experience. For you, not me.
Indeed.
So I'll bring this recording to a close and we can chat if you like.
Indeed.